Hey there. It's the first weekend of August here in South Carolina, and it is unseasonably cool. So we're glad you're here. It's time for our weekend video. So come on and let's see what we're going to get into this weekend. Hey y'all, it's Heather. I am in the kitchen. It's Saturday, and I have cherries that I need to preserve. I wasn't planning on doing this until next week, but I picked the cherries up Thursday, and I was hoping they wouldn't be quite as ripe as they are, but they are, so I have to process them because they're not going to last until next week. So I'm just working on doing a little at a time, getting them on my pan here, freezing them, and putting them in here. I've done it twice already. I started on them yesterday. So I'm going to work on this for a little bit, and then we'll see what else we get into. I'm leaving a few out for us to eat, and I want to freeze the rest of these. I'm not sure what I'll do with them yet, but once they're in the freezer, then I don't have to worry about them. I can figure that out later. My original plan was to eat a lot of these fresh because we love cherries, but these are just not going to last, like I said, so just have to make a new plan, right? And what I'm doing here is I'm keeping the pits because I'll show you there's a lot of cherries still on them. And I'm not wasting that. So I will cook those and juice them. And then I'm going to make some cherry lemonade popsicles. I didn't record me making the popsicles in this video, but there is one on our channel. If you're interested, I will link it below. And I also have this little thing. I use it some. Sometimes I'll just take it and scoop the pit out of there. Either way. Or cut just around the pit 4 times. If you have a better way of pitting cherries, let me know. There may be some tool for this. I don't know. I just do it the best way I can. And I have some lemonade concentrate over there. I made that yesterday because I got lemons with this order too. And the lemons also needed to be used very quickly. So it all worked out, but I just wasn't planning on having to do any of this work until next week. Next week was the plan with that. But you know what? Sometimes it just doesn't work out exactly like you planned, and you just have to figure it out. So that's what we're doing. And it's really cool here today because we've been over 100 degrees with the heat index. So I would really much rather be outside, but I was outside until now. I'm getting started late, 1 o'clock. So I have got to enjoy the outside, and then I'll go back out this evening or whenever I get this kitchen work done. But anyway, I'm going to cut the camera off, and when I do something more interesting, we'll get back together. Okay, so I've got all the cherries cut up. I have 3 layers here. Hopefully they're going to freeze okay like that. I think I've done 2 layers in the past, and they were fine. But I don't have a lot of room in my freezer, so I'm going to stick these in here. And all the pits I put in that pot over there, and I'm just letting them kind of boil. And then I'll run them through my little smasher thing, and I will have some cherry juice to put with lemon and honey, and I'm going to make some popsicles out of those. While I'm waiting on the cherry pits to boil, I'm going to just wipe these off and get these put back in my pantry. And these are lemonade concentrate. They have lemon juice, honey, lemon juice and honey. That's it. And we put about 2/3, maybe a little more depending on who is drinking it. 2/3 of a cup of this in with a quart jar with ice and water. The smaller ones are shelf stable. The larger ones I didn't hot water bath because this filled up my canner, number one. And I just figured I would put one in the refrigerator and one in the freezer, and we'd use those two bigger ones later so I didn't have to run my canner again. And there is a video, there's plenty of videos on YouTube how to make it. That's how I learned how to make it. But I have a video if you'd like to see that. I made it for the first time a few weeks ago, and it's come in handy. And they drank all of it but one pint. So I went on and made some more. Now I'm just mixing up some hummingbird feed, saying how much I'm loving my hummingbirds, blah, 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 and explaining how I mix hummingbird feed, 4 parts water to 1 part sugar. This year, I moved all my hummingbird feeders to one side of my house. I normally had them spread all over the yard, so no matter where I sat, I might see a hummingbird. But I have to say, this was the absolute best idea because now they congregate in one area. Of course, they still fly all around, but now I can see so many more at one time. And I'll show you my little hummingbird sitting spot right there. Took the rail off, flipped the swing around, and now it's perfect. Okay, so take a little break from the kitchen. We'll ride over and see what they have going on. If you're like us, you have some junk piles, good junk piles, and ours have gotten a little out of control. So Danny just wanted to take some time today. He got the boys together and they are just trying to consolidate some of this, organize it, and get it in a way that it will be easier for them to find and use and get to when they need it. Not a super exciting project, but it's just stuff that has to be done. Probably best described as maintenance, just like all the other little odds and ends that you have to keep up with around your place.
This and that going back there by Cordova, right?
Yeah. We recently had some wood chips drop, so we need to move those back closer to where we actually use them on our property. We like to pile them up in a very big pile so they can start getting hot and composting, and then we just use the oldest ones first, or the ones that aren't as composted we'll put on places we are trying to keep from washing with the rain, or in the walkways of our gardens, or when we're starting a new garden bed. We'll put them in the chicken coop and also around the duck pools. It just seems to help with, I don't know, everything. Stink, poop. And this will take Danny quite a while to move most of this mulch back to where we stack it up at. So he'll just continue to work on that, and we'll show you after it gets piled in a big pile. I had the last of my sweet potato slips rooted, so I'm just getting those in the ground. And this was something that I hadn't planned. I had my phone with me, so I decided to record it. So that explains the angle of the camera while I was planting. But here are the sweet potatoes. I just planted some. You can see the ones that's been there longer. They're starting to vine out. We'll see how they do. I planted several things in this spot and nothing seems to like it. So I hope these sweet potatoes like it here. While I was planting these, Danny finished up what he was going to move with the mulch today. It made quite the pile. Sunday, I woke up to another cool morning, cool enough for me to wear a little jacket. So anyway, after I fed the animals, I just headed out to the garden because it was the most decent day we've had in a while. So I'm just weeding. I'm pulling out some old plants that need to go, clipping some dead flowers back, and just enjoying my morning. And I didn't realize it until I was done in the garden, but I think my dogs knocked my camera over. After the garden and getting a shower and doing some things in the house, I moved on to cleaning garlic. I am cleaning my garlic. I don't know when I planted this. This is only the second time that I have planted and made garlic successfully. Last year I did make a really nice harvest. I saved the seeds and I planted them, but must admit I do not keep up with when I plant things. I would have to look back at a picture or something that I took, because I know a lot of people are harvesting their garlic now. So I probably didn't plant it at the right time of the year, but it seemed to make pretty good when it all dried up. So I figured, all the green tops were pretty dry. So I figured it was ready. I dug it up. I put it back there on this rack that I have onions on. And now it is pretty much dry. I want to say my last batch, the last time I grew it, I didn't take this apron off, and it's not exactly comfortable sitting here. I should take it off. Anyway, yes, the batch I grew last year was bigger, and they weren't all white. They had some purple and pink coloring on the outside. Very pretty. But anyway, I saved my seeds and I grew this, and I'm happy with it. I think it did well. So now I just have to clean it all up. It's fun to plant and fun to grow, but then there's the processing end of it. And we will probably make mostly fermented honey garlic out of this. Like I have some from last year around September. It just seemed like it was prettier cloves with that purple and pink on the outside. And bigger. I had more big cloves last time. But anyway, this is what I have now. And I have almost a half a basket for it. It's a lot. So I'm going to finish this up. Danny's on the backhoe, still cleaning up that area he was messing with yesterday. He had a few more things to do there today. And he won't take the camera with him yet. I'm going to talk him into it, though. Don't worry. It's coming. But we're still figuring out how to. For me, filming outside is challenging, but we're experimenting some, because he's forever doing stuff outside on the weekends. But I'm doing stuff, and I can't run around after him with the camera to show you what he's doing. I did a little bit yesterday, and that's what you got to see. Very little. Supposed to mess in the backyard a little bit today, trying to work on our washing issues back there. We've lived here for 25 years, and our backyard is a slope, and for 25 years he has fought the sand. Every time it rains, the sand comes down the hill. You pull it up the hill. The sand comes down. You pull it up. Anyway, so now the kids are grown. We have a little more time to think about things like that. We're working on it, so he doesn't have to spend so much of his time on that. So we'll see. We're going to try something. It may or may not work, but hey, you don't know if you don't try. I'm so happy to be at the end of this garlic too. I like the product. I love growing it. But this part, sitting here and cleaning it up, it's a little tedious. That's definitely not my favorite part. But you know what? It has to be done. So I didn't do everything that wasn't my favorite part. I wouldn't get to do a whole lot of things that I do get the end product for. And what I do, this did have a big long thing on it, but I cut that off when I first sat down. So I try to leave a little bit of a top on there, and then I cut the roots off the bottom. And if there's any dirt, I use my little brush and it will either get the dirt off or it'll peel that, one little layer off. But usually it just gets the dirt off. I just want to get the dirt off. And this is my little hummingbird spot that I told you about. I think I showed it to you yesterday when I fed the hummingbirds. So you can sit here and do your work and enjoy the hummingbirds. Oh my gosh, the last one. I'm so excited to be done with this and have fresh garlic that we grew. I know where it came from. I know what went into growing it. It's just so exciting. I just love it. Last piece. And that's that part of it. Then what I'll do is I'll go through all this and I'll pick out the ones that maybe don't have a whole lot of paper on them. Some that maybe, feel like they need to be used up. And those are the ones I'll start with for either my honey, and sometimes I chop it up and I freeze it in these little silicone molds. That's Danny on the backhoe. So anyway, and I just pop them out, freeze them, pop them out in the molds, and put them in freezer bags. So when I need garlic when I'm cooking, I know a lot of people say don't do it until you're cooking, but I do that. It's very convenient. I like it. It works for me. So I do some of the garlic like that too. And I made garlic powder, and onion powder, but I need to do more research on that because it really clumped together. I even put those little moisture packs in there. It was really clumpy. So maybe you need to mix cornstarch or something in there. I don't know. I only think about it when I did it. It was like, oh yeah, this didn't work. So maybe now I'll do some research on it. I have all this garlic to figure out maybe how not to get it to get so clumpy. I used it, but it's very clumpy. Okay, well that's it for this part. Hopefully he's finishing up and we can go do something in the backyard. A little project. The first thing he's going to do is try to straighten the mess out that's back there now from the last big rain that we had. And then they're going to bring some telephone poles in and put them just a little bit down the hill to see if we can slow the water down a little bit. We don't know if that's going to work or not. But like I said, if you don't try, how will you know? And since we made the video, we had a hard rain, and I will say that it did not stop the washing. It did help with the washing, but we still have more trial and error, so this will be an ongoing project. And also this week, the week after, should I say, that we made this video, my son came and put a drainage pipe in. You can't see the area in this frame. It's more over to the right of the house. But we're also hoping that that's going to help divert some of the water. This finishes up our weekend. If you like what you saw here, consider subscribing. We really want to grow here. Thanks so much for joining us, and we'll see y'all next time.